Alright, hey everybody, good morning. Warpath here, and I'm coming at you with today's pistol revolver stat guide. As many of you know and have followed me on my shows, I like to rock a pistol and a revolver for the simple fact that if you press start, you go into your progress,
Don't think for a second that
go over to awards, scroll over to sharpshooter. The first two boxes you're going to see are pistol and revolver kills. I like to do as many of the challenges and get them complete as possible. As you can see, I got some down here on the bottom that are complete. But these two right here are the main ones that I focus on every time I log in. As you can see, I'm a little behind on the pistol, but that's because, you start out with revolvers and, when you dual wielding, it's fun to like double pump. So basically, I'm going to show you guys what I use, and then I'm going to give you the top 5 combos overall with the top 5 scores. And you guys can take it how you want and go from there. And again, these are just sources that I got off of the GTA database for Red Dead and Red Dead Online. And I'm just trying to implement the numbers and stuff that I came across and maybe help you guys out. That way when you guys go to pick out the guns that you like and you dual wield, you could get again, it's all player preference. For a while I was using a combination of the Mauser and the Lamat, and I was thinking that the numbers were matching up. But after doing a lot of research and trying to figure out what worked and what didn't, your mind's going to be blown when I throw these numbers at you. So let's take a look at what we got up first. First up to bat, as always, when you're rocking the dual wield, you're going to want to set your cards up. For me, this is the best setup if you're going to want to dual wield your pistols. You got painted black, which is always a good thing to have when you're using any of your weapons. It's my favorite card to use because, especially with free aim, you can get the reticle over the head quick, fast, boom, boom, bing. If you watch my videos, you know that's how I set up, especially against moonshine roadblocks. You got Gunslinger's Choice here, which gives you ranged and gives you more damage and more accuracy when you're dual wielding. So when you're double pumping with the fist guns, Gunslinger's Choice is going to give you basically like a 5% buff on your pistols. So you can use one of the shittiest guns that we're going to talk about, and it'll still give you the precise shot that you need to get that headshot. And of course, you accentuate that with eye for an eye. When you got eye for an eye on, you're never losing any bit of your dead eye when you're getting that headshot. And of course, when you're running around, you're going to be susceptible to getting hit, things like that, especially with the Pinkertons or the revenue agents. I call them Pinkertons. That's just the easy way to describe it. So I always use Fool Me Once because you take much less damage every time you're shot. It helps out when you got 3 dudes shooting at you and you're engaging with your Planet Black, and it kind of gives you that extra little split second or two to get that reticle over to, so these 3 cards can do their work. So basically you got to make your cards work for you, work how you want to, play the game, and then go from there. So as you can see, first up to bat here we have the Volcanic and the Lamat combo. Now I was tripping out when I was doing the numbers yesterday. These 2 guns here actually give you the most bang for your buck as far as when it comes to overall damage and overall fire rate. So what I tried to do with these guns and match them up is I took the fire rate numbers and the damage numbers, and I tried to put those together, and then I took the overall rating of each weapon and then I added them together to come up with a better combination overall rating. And you're going to be surprised when I get to the end of this video. Your mind's going to be blown. So first up to bat, we got the Volcanic and the Lamat. Let's take a look at the Volcanic. The Volcanic is the highest hitting pistol and it has the most accuracy, right? I did a review on this last week on the gun itself. It does a 50 fire rate and a 57 damage. Okay, so it packs a punch, but it shoots very slow. For the longest time, I was using this with like a Navy gun, thinking, you know, it would match up about that. But when you add up the fire rate and stuff, the best gun that goes along with it, if you're looking to, you know, bang for your buck, is the Lamat. Let's pull out the Lamat here. I did a video about the Lamat last week as well. It holds 9 rounds in the cylinder, and then you get the shotgun. So that's the 10 rounds in one little revolver there. The Volcanic shoots 8 rounds. So you're basically, if you put the Lamat, I like to put the revolvers in the left hand and the pistols in the right, but it's purely up to you, player preference, of course. But if you're looking for bang for your buck, the Lamat holds the 10 rounds all together, you know, if you add that shotgun round. So it's 9 in the cylinder, and you get the 1 shotgun round. And then you got the Volcanic that has 8. So when you're popping the cap, you're really not losing anything when you go to either reload or switch weapons. I always try to switch weapons, especially when I'm holding the Lamat, because it's a pain in the ass to reload. The Lamat and the Navy gun were black powder cylinder loaded revolvers. So that means that each cylinder here was loaded individually, and then you can see the caps in the back there. The cap would hit, cause the ignition of the black powder inside the cylinder, and it would spit the ball out. Usually the ball was around a 39 to 40 caliber, and then they started going like 45, and then, you know, some people were using 50s and stuff like that. Big huge balls coming out of them barrels. So the Lamat does 60 fire rate with 50 damage, so it's a little bit more than the Volcanic on the fire rate, but it's right about there about the damage. Another gun that you can accentuate with it that I found out wasn't a bad choice. Let me get to Ghost here. Sorry, Ghost. It's the Schofield. Now the Schofield does 70 fire rate with 46.5 damage. So yeah, it has a 20 point fire rate that's higher, but when it comes down to bang for the buck, this is probably, you know, again, player preference. This would probably be one of those guns that if you don't like the Lamat, it does only hold 6 rounds, but it is a bullet gun, so it holds rounds in it. It's not black powder with a ball gun like the Navy and the Lamat. As a huge storm comes into my fucking camp right now. I hope you guys can hear me over that. The Schofield was one of my favorite guns, and I was surprised to find out that the stats on it overall were the way they were when I started doing all the math on these guns. So you could use the Schofield with the Volcanic, but I recommend, if you're going to use the Volcanic and you're looking for a revolver to back it up, maybe the Lamat would be best. You can also use the Navy. The Navy has a 72 fire rate and a 52 damage, so again, the damage is there, but a little bit more on the fire rate. You want to be saving the energy on pulling that trigger as best you can, so it gets away from not only your ammo count, but the time it takes you to go hide behind something and fucking reload the weapon, because some of these guns, the reload speed can be quick, and the reload speed can be, Jesus, man, I could fucking make a grilled cheese sandwich while this gun's reloading. So there's the Schofield. 2 guns I recommend are the Volcanic with the Lamat, or the Volcanic with the Schofield, because the stats kind of match up. But again, it's all up to you, player preference. Let's move on to the next set of guns. Next set of guns, it's a fan favorite, the Mauser. The Mauser has an 80 fire rate. Turn away from Ghost's butt here. There we go. The Mauser has an 80 fire rate with a 36 damage. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. I use it basically every single day, as you can tell, it's those of you that watch my videos. I was surprised to see the guns that actually matched up with the Mauser, because I've been using the Mauser with the Lamat, and I thought that that was like the go-to combo just because of the ammo capacity. The Mauser holds a 10 round clip-fed magazine, internal magazine. It's not a hard puncher, but it does spit out a lot of ammo. You could dual wield 2 of these and still get good numbers. I was dual wielding these with the Lamat, only for the Lamat had 9 rounds in the cylinder and then the shotgun round, so it was like 10 plus 10 in each hand. But once you do the math, and the Mauser has an 80 fire rate, I was wondering why the Lamat was always kind of like lagging ass when I would pull the trigger. So surprisingly, when I did the math in the study, I found out that the best 2 guns to go with the Mauser, believe it or not, is the Navy gun. Let's take a look at the old Navy / Griswold here. The Navy gun does 72 fire rate with 52 damage. To me, pound for pound, it's the best overall fist gun that you can have in the game. I mean, it's the best bang for your buck. Fire rate, all that. I put a short barrel on mine just because, you know, that long barrel makes it look like a fucking hand howitzer. But it's a good gun, best class overall as far as the revolvers go, in my opinion. You know, again, these are all just my opinions. The numbers and stuff I'm sending at you are strictly from the GTA database for Red Dead. But I felt that after doing the math and stuff, the Mauser felt really good with the Navy. Yeah, you get 6 shots compared to the 10, but when you're in the mix and you're busting caps, you can just rotate your weapons, so you don't have to sit there and reload. So if you're rotating, you get a couple shots off of maybe a shotgun or an arrow with your bow, or if you got your repeater out, you bust a couple caps with your repeater, switch back to your double fist, boom, bang, bing, you're back in the game, fully loaded. It's kind of cool how the game does that. You know, it takes away from the reality of it, but at the same time, it helps when you're in the midst of battle, man, I'm telling you. So, surprisingly, the next gun that goes with the Mauser, believe it or not, is the Cattleman. This is the first gun you get right when you get broken out of the clink. As you can see here, mine's kind of decked out. I don't use it too much, but after doing the stats and the math yesterday, I actually might start doing this. You'll find out by the end of the video. It's a very good gun as far as when you're first starting out, especially. Pretty accurate. It has a 75 fire rate and a 42 damage, surprisingly. So when you match that with the Mauser's 80 fire rate and 36 damage, it kind of is like right there in the mix with it. And again, I got a short barrel on here. I like all my guns just short barrels, except for my pistols. I put long barrels on my pistols. But I got a short barrel on my little Colt here, based after the 1875 Colt Army gun here. It's the most popular gun in the Old West. But surprisingly, this was the best fit with the Mauser, next to the Navy gun. So, yeah, trip on that, right? Alright, let's move on to the next batch here. Next gun we got up, semi-auto with the double action. Now, these 2 guns here, pound for pound, are the most fastest firing guns that you could get. The double action pistol here does 82 fire rate with a 38 damage. I don't know, I've been using it the past 2 days just because, you know, I like to switch up my my guns and stuff. It's you know, based on the old 38 special. Back in this time, in this era, it was basically a brand new model gun. The double action was, you know, new to the scene. The English had a model of it too. I think it was a Springfield. It might have been. I have to do my homework on that one. But yeah, when you're rocking dual wield, this is the best gun to use with the next gun we're going to use. Even though it doesn't have a lot of power, again, when you're using the cards, you're making the cards work for you. So let's go to the next gun here, and that's going to be the semi-auto pistol. The semi-auto pistol is based on the first Luger model. This gun here is the fastest no matter what. It has an 85 fire rate with 33 damage. But again, when you're using it with the double action or dual wielding it with the cards that you have, Gunslinger's Choice, Painted Black and stuff, you know, these guns, man, you're getting headshots. You're popping grapes, you know what I mean? Melons are exploding left and right when you're getting them good headshots. So that would be, you know, if you're looking for fire rate, boom, bang, bing, plus the reload speed on both the guns are amazingly fast. I mean, it takes a couple seconds, click, 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 click. You don't even have to rotate through another weapon. You can just go take cover behind a tree real quick, or, you know, a little quick duck behind a rock or something, around the corner from a building, and it's good to go. So now that we got through the combos there, I'm going to give you the top 5 as far as overall ratings go. So coming in at number 5, overall rating. Now these are just overall ratings. Earlier in the show I already said that, you know, damage wise it was different. But these are overall numbered ratings that I got from the GTA database. So with an overall rating, the Volcanic pistol, spot here, I wish it was more light. The Volcanic pistol has a 57.80 overall rating. When you accentuate it with the Lamat, it gives you a 115 overall rating as far as dual wielding the two guns together, which isn't too bad. Again, you're pounding out bang for your buck. So these are the two most powerful guns that you could rock as far as a pair. Of course, you could switch to the Lamat for the Navy, or the Schofield, but that's going to be number 5. All right, number 4, we have the Volcanic with the Schofield. So again, you have the Volcanic at 57.80, and the Schofield comes in at a straight 60 with a combined number at 117.80 overall rating with that combination there. So coming in at number 4. So it's all player preference. The numbers with the Navy against the Schofield were similar, but it still didn't give it a number in the ranking. I wanted to make sure everything had its place. So coming in at number 3 is the Mauser with the Navy. So the Mauser with the Navy, Mauser does a 60.60 overall rating, and the Navy has a 59.20 overall rating with a combined 119.80 overall rating as a combo. It's pretty decent, man. Run of the mill, right there in the middle. And I said that as far as bang for your buck goes, and, you know, fire rate and power, it's just a good combo to have right in the middle of the line. So you got that. Let's go on to the next one. Next one is surprisingly going to be the double action with the semi-auto. The semi-auto does a 62.60, and the double action does a 58 solid with a combined number total of 120.60. That's pretty good numbers. This is one of the reasons why I'm been using this after I did the math. I've been using this combo with these cards here. So that was a good thing to find out, and surprisingly, you guys are really going to trip out when you guys see this. Coming in at number 1, believe it or not, the Mauser and the Cattleman. The Cattleman has a 60.20 overall rating, and the Mauser, of course, is a 60.60. You add those together, you get a 120.80 overall rating for these two guns here when you're dual wielding them. I was blown away when I did the math on this. Come to find out, the Cattleman gun is the most balanced handgun in the game. Everybody's using the Navy and stuff, of course, because it packs the punch. But when you're looking at the actual stats, the Navy gun comes in right underneath the Cattleman by a full 1.0 points. So the Navy comes in at 59.20, and the Cattleman comes in at 60.20. So that's crazy. Number one overall, the Mauser and the Cattleman. I would have never thought that. I would have never put the two together. Once I got the Schofield, I stopped using the Cattleman. I don't use it that much anymore. But after doing the math and checking out the numbers, I'm thinking, man, I might start using the Cattleman here and there just to dick around. You know what I mean? So I also did stat numbers for the M1899 in case they come in, and the M1899 is going to be the best overall pistol as far as stats goes. The database has the M1899 in there. I did the numbers, I did the math, and the best two guns to have with the M1899 would be the Navy and the Cattleman, because the M1899 is going to have a 77 fire rate with a 37.5 damage. And it has a 62.50 overall rating. So again, if you're looking for overall ratings and numbers as far as balance goes in the game, that would be the gun to get with the Navy or Cattleman. It has an 8-round magazine, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun for me to actually do the stats and stuff yesterday and get real in depth and try to find out what worked and what doesn't. But again, player preference, I always say, it's completely up to you. I'm just trying to help new players out. That way they're not blowing a lot of money and, you know, spending cash that they don't want to spend. That was a big mistake that I made when I started first playing. I was buying everything I could when I had the money, and then when I didn't have money, I was like, shit. But there you go. There you have it. Number one on the list, Mauser, Cattleman. Yeah, told you I'd blow your mind. Stay tuned for tomorrow, everyone. We're going to be doing Wake Up Morning Show with Warpath. And I got a lot to talk about over the weekend. Again, we all basically had a full week off from no shows since I was on the shelf there. So tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. live, twitch.tv/Warpath5481. And the replays, as always, will go up on YouTube at Tango Hotel Productions. Hope everybody has a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay frosty, everybody.